Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Ambassador Pipe/Cigar, Airy Sky, Johnson. I hear ya, I hear ya. Sergeant, are you okay? I hear ya, Halo. Sergeant Major, Airy Sky Johnson. Just a joke. Anyways, let's get to brass tacks, shall we? Now, this video is going to be discussing some issues like how to choose a netbook. That's right, how to choose a netbook. Now, there's Acer, Asus, Samsung, CTL, some crappy brand, some other crappy brands that I've never even heard of, Acer, oh yeah, I said that, HP, and Lenovo. Now I'm going to get to the basics. A netbook is a low-powered little laptop with between 512 and 1 gig of RAM. With Windows XP, you can get one with 2 gigs of RAM with Vista. Slow as snails if you get the Sony version. I got one. My husband's got one. I use his more. I keep mine for email. Well, let me tell you. First of all, Asus EEE 7-inch screen with Linux. It's pretty cheap. Problem is the keyboards are small. And in my opinion, it's got a great processor for the Atom CPU, the 270N. Let me tell you, but the keyboards are small, and I always screw up. Always. Asus, bad idea. Now, if you can get a full-size Asus with a full big keyboard, you're doing good. However, I wouldn't recommend Asus because they're not the leading in netbooks. They say they are, but they're into motherboard making. Now, Samsung, they're new in the netbook market. Not bad. Full-size keyboard. Battery life is so-so. I'd recommend going with something with a little more nicety. Brighter screen, no problem. Keyboard's big, that's a big plus. I have big hands. Now, what do I recommend? Lenovo is an old IBM brand. Crap, in my opinion. Every IBM I've had taken a dump within 90 days. What do I recommend? Well, if you got the money, I'd recommend either HP, Acer. The Gateway ain't bad. Gateway's a little tiny. The Dell, that's another brand that's good. Problem is, keyboard is a little smaller. They slimmed down the keys, cut out the whole F1 through F12 keys down, made them alternate keys. I didn't like that. But the Gateway, if you need it for internet and email, the Gateway is good. You can get it either at Office Depot, gateway.com. I'm looking to get one for tinkering. My man could use something a little better. I'll explain everything in a second. The Gateway, you can also make payments. It's a little more money, but if you're on a fixed income and you want to spread out the payments, pay a little more. You can go through Home Shopping Network, hsn.com or qvc.com, get the payment plan, which is good. Now, when it comes to other things, I would recommend going with Acer. They got a new 10-incher. Still, screen's a little bigger. CPU is the same. Hard drive's 160 gig. You can get solid state, which is smaller drives. And it is very nice. But the keyboard is still small. This one here I'm using is an Acer Aspire 1. It's got 1 gig of RAM, Windows XP. It's a basic unit. It's got a 160 gig hard drive, Windows XP, and a digital cam. Pretty good, don't you think? Cost around $300. $350 if you know what you're going, $329 or something. Now, if you really want something unique, the HP is the way to go. It's got a full-size keyboard. You won't have any problems with anything. Now, their 1035 model at jr.com is perfect. It's about $400. Now, if you go and get the other version at Target, the 1125, which I just bought, beautiful computer, by the way. I have two HPs. Mind you, I use one on my other desk, which I have two desks, which soon I'm going to have three desks, Resolute desk, copy of the Oval Office, basically, desk. Now, with the HP 1125, it's got a 16 gig hard drive. It has Windows XP, 1 gig of RAM. Both HPs have 10.2 inch screens. Very good screens. Aaron didn't like it. He said it was not bright enough. Well, full keyboard is what I need for my internet and my web browsing. Now, those two computers cost me the same price as my compact 3 years ago. Well, compact cost me $2,000. This one is beautiful. They have nice designs, beautiful crystal clear screens. Love it. Now, if you want to go with something small, compact, you can get the Acer Aspire 1. Comes with a little travel case, comes in a little box, just like the HPs. The difference is you get an 8.9 inch screen, and perfect for internet and etc. Now, mind you, these little computers, you have a problem with it. Hooking it up to the VG port, this one's got a VGA out for old CRT computer screens. You have to increase the plus, which means going 200 or 300% to get it to fit on your screen so you can actually see what's going on. The screen is tiny on a CRT. Mind you, it's still a good computer. With that said, I would recommend it. The HPs, I would recommend. Acer, I would recommend if you're just a little person or a kid and want something basic. Now, if you're an adult that wants something basic, the Acer's good, but I'd look into the 10.2 inch for bigger screen and better on your peepers. Now, if you need something better, you can always go with the Dell Inspiron 12. I think it is. It's a 10 or 12 inch screen. It's not bad. It's got a full-size keyboard except for the one area I told you, and those are nice as well. But like I said, the HPs is what I use. Now, some say HP service tech support's crap, but my HP, or compact's been going 3 years. I've had some small problems with it, but I've gotten it somewhat fixed. As long as I keep the room ice cold, she'll run continuous, no trouble. See, I move it out to the summertime into my living room here. I'm in subsidized housing. Crank up the air conditioner. Let's just say that baby stays so ice cold, I can run it all summer running it. However, I restart once a day to keep the memory clean and clear out the cookies. Now, mind you, it's a good little HP. Now, if you want something else, you can always go to Home Shopping Network or QVC and get something like the Gateway. Gateway, Acers, Samsungs, they're all there. You're lucky if you find an HP. Now, HP also has a Linux version. Asus has a Linux version. HP has a Linux version. Like I said, Acer has a Linux version. Linux ain't bad if you know how to manage it right and back up your programs. I prefer Windows version. These little machines are perfect for Windows XP. Now, my final minute, I'm going to cut it short. The Sony Lifebook. You can get it into Windows XP by downgrading it. You're doing good. The Windows Vista version of it is very crappy. I wouldn't go with the Lifebook because it's Sony and it costs too much. Now, if you want the Lifebook, fine, but the motherboard and the memory modules, the 2 gigs of memory modules, is soldered in, so you can't upgrade it. That's a downside. And another thing, if you want to go with an Apple, wait, Apple might be working on a netbook. Time only tells. With that said, I would go with Acer because my man's got it and I bought it for him, or HP. HP is my top #1 pick. Now, I hope that helped you out in the netbook area. Hope you enjoyed this educational video. I'm out of here. Hasta lasagna. Don't get any on you. Goodbye.